Good evening. My name is Hector Portillo, and tonight I'm going to be doing my week, I believe, 6 Sunday reflection. For this week's assignment, we were supposed to interview somebody within the leadership position. So I decided to go a little bit offbeat, and I interviewed a lady named Erica Pinon. She is the leader. She's the what we call the stake primary leader um, in the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints. Um, just in layman's terms, she is in charge of all the children from 18 months to 12 years old. She is in charge of leading and helping the smaller groups of congregations that get together and helping them make activities fun and that will enrich the children and their well-being and have a spiritual side to them. So I was trying to think of who to interview, and I thought of a few people on the business end, but I decided to go with more of a homemade leader, and this is the lady that I spoke to. So, like I previously said, her name was Erica Pinon, and the first question, my basic format was, I was just going to ask them questions, and then depending on the answers that they gave me, is where I would try and figure out and see what style they were using, what power they were using, under what authority they were using on that. So, for example, when I asked her what kind of leadership style she believed that she was, she went on to explain on how. To her, it was really important that the children knew that somebody cared for them. She said she took upon this role right before COVID, and due to COVID, we could not have any church meetings, any type of meeting in any type of building due to the COVID restrictions. So she said that when she took this role upon herself, that it was really, really important to her to let the children know that other than their family, that there was somebody that still loved them. So, immediately as soon as she started saying that, I started thinking about, kind of the country club model, where interpersonal relationships are on the high scale, tasks are on the minimum scale. I went ahead and asked her what was her role, what did she do as this leader, what was she in charge of, and she said that she was in charge of helping train the smaller congregations and their leaders. And she had, I believe, 2 annual activities that were the big activities for them. So these activities did take some time from her. But again, as soon as she's telling me this, I'm thinking, yeah, this style is big in personal relationships. Task, not so much. And it was, kind of that country club model where, you go and you're just there to make friends, and the tasks aren't that oriented. But again, her point across was we need to make sure that these children know that they are loved and there's somebody that cares for them. I also asked her how did she become this leader, right? Did she have to apply for it? Was it something that was given to her? Did she have to debate somebody for it? How did she get this position? How did she come across? She went ahead and explained to me that the way she got this leadership was some of her leaders just basically picked her. I guess there is somewhat of an interview process, but not necessarily for the position, just to see if she was willing to do it and if her lifestyle permitted her to be able to put this time in. Again, when I heard this in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, we kind of have some of a traditional authority here, right? Where this leadership position goes from one person to another, not necessarily having to try out for it. It's just kind of your pick, you're predetermined for it. A great example of this was like the royal family, the royal authorities, right? Any king, queen, prince. There's somebody on the next line that's going to come get it. There's no trying out. There's no interviewing to see if you got it or not. So, again, she was just explaining to me the way the process worked. In my head, I'm thinking, yeah, This is traditional authority. Now, one thing that did attract my attention was she's definitely charismatic, right? Charismatic authority definitely comes into place here. Just as the interview was happening, I could tell she really enjoyed what she was doing. I asked her if she could give me some examples of things she has done for these children, and has she been able to see the fruits. Um, when I asked her that, she did. She gave me some examples, and I could really tell that she enjoyed working with the children. She actually even showed me some pictures of, I guess, their summer activity that they had, and I can see that she was in there in the middle, participating with the children. Again, as this time she's telling me all these things, in my head I'm thinking, that's charismatic authority right there, right? That was one of the last things we touched in the previous weeks. So it was still in my head, it's still fresh, and I'm thinking, here is the charismatic leader. Now, why do I say this? Because I could tell by the pictures that this was something special that she had, right? And that's the thing behind charismatic leaders. It's something that they're perceived as being special, right? Like they have something different. Um, I could tell that she enjoyed being with the kids. Now, the way she interacted with them, it was such not formal, right? It wasn't like a formal authority that she had on herself. She was part with the kids, playing with the kids. Another great attribute of a charismatic leader, right? A charismatic authority. Um, it definitely has to do with her and the way she handled herself around these children and around the people that she trained and helped to get their program going, to be able to help the children during these ages and during this COVID time. Um, it was a very interesting interview. Like I said, I decided to go a little bit offbeat. I didn't go business. I was tempted to, but I said, no, I'm going to try something else different. I'm going to try look at a different kind of leader. But I do want to enjoy and thank this class because, again, my interview was that. I interviewed, I asked, but right as she's answering my questions, in my head, I'm thinking, yeah, look, this is this type of, is it charismatic, right? Is it not? Is it one of the identifiers of power, right? So now that I can see all those things, it's very interesting to me. So that's all I have for today. You guys have a good night. Bye-bye.